Hi friends, it's Ashley from Ashley's Paper Heart, and today I thought we could do a real-time journal with me in my traveler's notebook. This is actually the Traveler's Diner cover that just came out, and I am absolutely in love with it. I really think it's cute. I love the theme, very Americana, nostalgic kind of thing. So I thought we could just like chat and catch up since I had been gone for so long, and just like, I don't know, talking more freely about plans for the channel and different things like that. So hopefully you have a snack or a drink or your journal and you can journal with me, and we can just hang out and do journaly things. Sorry if you hear my chair. It's like incredibly squeaky. I'm going to try not to move a whole lot. So what I have going on in here is the standard insert that came with the Traveler's Diner. So it's just the standard cream insert. I have this goat leather folder wallet thing, and then I also have a Baumkuchen sketch book. I am really curious to see how this book holds up. So according to the back, it says it's good for pen, ink, pencils, markers, except slight watercolor. So I don't think I'm going to be doing any watercoloring in here, but I definitely will be using markers. So we'll see how it handles the markers. The paper is fairly thick, so I don't know if I'm going to be drawing at all in this video, but I am going to be doing, we'll talk about that. I will be doing some drawing videos, some sketchbook videos, just to kind of like add some other things to the channel that I'm really passionate about, things that I love. So let's get started. Let me find my Traveler's Notebook clip. Okay, I'm back. You have to have the right tools for the job, right? So I think I'm going to take the insert out to work in it. Sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't. It just depends. I plan on doing like gluing some stuff down in here, so some larger things. So it's probably better if I open it up. And so this is actually my second, okay, it's not my second insert, but I just finished an insert that I was using for this kind of thing. And basically this is like, I stick in a bunch of crap that I like, or things that I want to remember, things that don't fit into my other journal, and just kind of play, honestly. I used the other one to write things that were more personal, and I probably will do the same. So I won't be doing any writing in any of the videos that I do where I work, well, unless it's like notating what something is. But other than that, I won't be doing any writing necessarily in it. So we'll mostly be decorating and talking. So first thing I wanted to stick in is this was actually from my son, one of the toys that we got him for Christmas. He just like loves Hot Wheels. Like every other word out of his mouth is Hot Wheels. And I had no idea like how much stuff they have out and how popular it must be for them to continue to make things. So I kind of wanted to put as much of this down as possible, or maybe split it up. I don't know. I think first things first is that I'm gonna tear it, and I'll probably put other bits and pieces of this in other places, but I think the illustrations are cute. from a design standpoint, I think it's, you know, it's a cool thing. So it's just a tad too tall to stick in all the way. So I wish I had like one of those like paper cutters that are on a track, so that I didn't have to try to cut in a straight line, because I guarantee you I can't. It's not, I can already tell it's already going wonky. Okay, well, that was fun. It's not terrible, but it's definitely not the best cutting job that I've ever done. So what have you guys been up to? Are you... I cut it too short. Ah! Okay, well, that's fun. Are you guys keeping up with your journals so far this year? I feel like I fell off the face of the planet last year with mine. I didn't film, but then I also, for the last half of the year, didn't journal either. And so I really missed it. And when I say didn't journal, I journaled in my traveler's notebook, but I did not journal in my Hobonichi, which was like, is like my ride or die kind of journal. I'm hoping to complete my Hobonichi this year. I find that when you're like putting stuff over the center, if you fold it before gluing it down, it sometimes lays better. I'm not going to promise it lays better every time, but at least in my mind, it kind of lays better. Now here's the thing. Should I use glue or tape runner? I don't know. Let's use glue. I don't want the whole paper to like wrinkle and warp, or the tape runner. So the problem with this is if I stick it down and it's not in the right spot, then it is what it is. So there's always a gamble when doing large things. And then it could like fold kind of weird, but there's a gamble. I like to take chances, obviously. So I try to get it to as close to the edge as possible. I mean, obviously you can do whatever you want to do when you're gluing or taping. What is going on? It's like not laying down well. Okay, well, there might be washi tape involved later. No promises. So, where have I been? One, I have been working an insane amount, and work has been really stressful. If you don't know, I am a graphic designer by trade. I work for an advertising agency. Oh no. Did I like ruin this? We'll see. Hopefully folding this. I think it's gonna like, I don't know. I think it pushed the page out. Do you see how it's like going over the edge now? Or was it doing that before? I really don't know. Let's see. What is going on here? Also something you could do, which I'm about to do. I wish I had an X-Acto knife. I'm very ill prepared for this. What I am going to do is I'm going to basically slice. Oh no! Not going as planned. Okay, well, that was fun. Look at that. It's like chewed up. Okay, well, that didn't work as planned. If I was smart, I would have had an X-Acto knife, and I could have just sliced very neatly through this section right here. I'm going to see if I can lift this and take this off without just destroying the paper, although... Come Come on, dude. I hope you guys are enjoying watching me struggle. It's kind of comical. I'm sure I'll laugh about it later, but right now I am like cringing. Like, why did you do that? You can see how out of practice I am for getting stuff down in my traveler's notebook. So what was I talking about? Where was I? So I've been working a lot. We had someone go out on maternity leave, and I'm a freelancer. I'm not a like employee of the company. And so we had someone go out on maternity leave on one of the teams that I work on, and I agreed to step in and basically up my hours to full time with them. I'm gonna try to rub this glue off. I might just end up sticking something there. Maybe if I put tape down, that will fix it. So anyway, what tapes do I have? I have these. None of them like really match. Although I do have this one that might kind of match. I don't know. Squeaky chair, sorry. So I agreed to step in part-time, or to step in and basically up my hours to full-time with the agency. I was working part-time for them. And then it just kind of like got out of control with the amount of work. Because I was basically the only person on that account. And when I say account, I'm talking about like in the ad world, every company that you work for is an account. So say there's an account for a restaurant. Let's say, you know, Traveler's Diner is a restaurant that wants services at the they would be an account of their own. And then say there's like another restaurant named like Traveler's Coffee Shop. They would be an account. And so you have like supposed to have a team of people doing the work for the account, but at the place I'm at now, they are purposefully keeping things understaffed to make themselves to basically look like money-wise look better. And it's really crappy. I'm not gonna lie. It's a really crappy thing to do to people, because it just means that you're not allocating your resources correctly. You're trying to look better than you actually are, and everyone suffers. The employees suffer. Obviously, like top tier management isn't suffering. They're just going on about their daily lives while everyone else is like stressed out and working over vacations that people were supposed to be having and taking on like double the workload, you know, all that. And so basically I've been dealing with that since August of last year. I'm actually pulling my hours back. I'm a firm believer that you teach people how to treat you. And I think if I continued working full-time for them, that I would basically be giving them permission to treat me like garbage. And so I'm not going to do that anymore. And I know it's a privilege to be able to make that decision. I know not everyone has the privilege to do that. Luckily, my husband makes significantly more than I do. And honestly, we could live off of just his income. It would be tight, but we could do it. And I don't know. I kind of was done. I was done with the BS. So I told myself that this year I was really, because I really let stress like get the better of me this past year, that I was going to put myself first in some aspects. And I was going to, I'm looking for a label or something, because I was going to put something on this side and I was going to talk about my son. I don't know. I really want to put my mental health first. I really I had a hard time last year. And I think we all, God, since the pandemic, we've all had a hard time. But I think also people's like threshold for taking crap from companies and other things, it's like has significantly gone down. And so I really want to focus on taking care of myself. And I missed journaling. I miss art. I had every intention of finishing my portfolio so I could have applied for master's degree programs for 2023. Obviously that didn't happen because I was so like just swamped by work. And when I wasn't working, I was stressing out about work. Like it just followed me everywhere. And so this is the year that I'm putting down boundaries for myself and my mental health, because I think at the end of the day, what's important? It's being a good mother and wife. Like to me, that is important. And creating things that I'm passionate about, really like diving into my own creativity, not just being a tool for a company to use so that they can market to you or make more money or lie to you about how good they are. It's just like that's not when I was thinking about, well, what is really important to me. Being a cog in the corporate machine is not on the top of my list of what's really important to me. And I know, like I said, it is a privilege to be able to step back and think that. And I understand that. But that's kind of where I am. Because honestly, it was affecting my physical health as well as my mental health. Like I was just not taking care of myself. I was really struggling last year. And so I just had enough. I only have one life and one body, and I need to take care of it. So here we are. We are taking care of ourselves this year. That is, I think I'm gonna, oh, this is nice and blue and green. This would work well. So segue into, like I was talking about my portfolio for next year. Now it's going to be 2024. If you hadn't watched some of my like older videos where I talked about, I really want to go back to school. I have a bachelor's in fine art. I really want to go back to school. I really want to teach at a college level. I really want that experience of working with other artists to kind of develop my voice as an artist. And a master's program would give that to me. And I think I would be a lot happier if I was basically switched from doing commercial art to fine art. And like, I know a lot of people back in art school that ideally wanted to do that, but then there's can you make money at it? And the answer is I don't know. It depends. It depends. Because it's very subjective. And you have to find the right person with the right amount of money to like you and believe in you. And, all that. So, but I think with social media, that kind of like evens the playing field a little bit. Because then you have an opportunity to be able to get your stuff out there without having to depend on like gallery representation or any of that stuff. So that is the goal. And I've been playing around with other things. I've been doing painting. I've been doing a little bit of printmaking. I've been kind of like falling back in love with photography and just a whole bunch of things that I really loved back in college, and for whatever reason just didn't make the time to continue. It's hard. It's really hard to find time because I'm a mom of two. My son's gonna be 4 next month, like in the beginning of the month. And I can't believe I'm gonna have a 4-year-old. And my daughter, she's gonna be 6 in the end of March. And I'm just like, it's hard to find the time to take care of yourself, to go after your goals, but I think it's important for our kids to see us not give up everything of ourselves. Because what I'm learning is that if I don't take care of myself, I don't have the ability to be as good of a mom as I'd like to be. You know? So, those are my goals. Some of my goals for this new year, and definitely boundaries, putting down boundaries, not letting people like just drain me. That's a big thing. It's a big theme for this year. So where is this paper? So one of my pen pals had sent me a letter, and then, you know, we include like goodies and paper bits and stuff, and this poem was one of the things that she sent. So this is, must we always teach our children with books? Let them look at the mountain and the stars above. Let them look at the beauty of the waters and the trees and the flowers on the earth. They will then begin to think, and to think is the beginning of a real education. I cannot agree with this more. Like, this is like, yes. So I wanted to put this in here somewhere. I really believe that. My daughter, and another reason why I was gone is my daughter started kindergarten, and not having had a child in school, I did not realize how having your kid in school is not a passive activity. It is a very much, I think I'm going to keep this side so that I can use it somewhere else. It's not a passive activity, especially, and she's going to public school, especially when the school that she's going to is so darn academically driven that I think it's a little excessive. So I don't remember, you know, obviously I wasn't in kindergarten for I haven't been in kindergarten for a really long time. But I don't remember trying to learn how to read in kindergarten, but apparently they do that now. So like she's reading and writing, and I thought that was like a first grade thing. Honestly, I think it should be a first grade thing, but I'm not the one teaching her, so we're going to leave it at that. I don't necessarily agree with how stringent the academics are at the school she's at. Luckily, we're going to be transferring her to a different school next year. Not to say that there's not value in like heavy academics, but I think we confuse academics and learning, like the joy of learning. Like, that's not, I think we have like a small window, you know, for people to be interested in education, like before we like burn them out. And if we don't set the groundwork well, if we mess it up, it's really hard to get it back. You know what I mean? Like, if you have a kid stressed out about tests and all this stuff, then they're not really like focusing on learning or enjoying what they're learning. They're focused on memorizing the information that they need to know for a test. And to me, that's not learning. To me, that is basically, I don't know what that is. It's not good. I know for me, like, there was a time where school really sucked the joy out of learning. Like, I learned what I had to learn because I was told I needed to learn it. But I didn't find joy in it, and I didn't take it, like, any further, you know? Like, I didn't say, oh, I really enjoy this science lesson. I'm going to go look up stuff about weather. I'm going to, like, take it a step further and and really dig deep into this interest. Like, no, I didn't get an interest. I just, like, how do I pass this test? How do I get an A on this test? And that was it. And I don't want that for my kids. You know what I mean? I don't. Okay, we're going to try to cross. We're going to try to cross the threshold again. I don't know. My brain is all over the place. I cannot for the life of me think of the binding area. We're going to try to cross that again without messing up. So I don't want that for my daughter. I don't want that for my son either when he starts school. And hopefully he'll be starting transitional kindergarten, because apparently that's a thing, next year, hopefully, if we can get him in. I know there's like limited spots for that here anyway. Oh, my dog. Please excuse my dog. And then my kid telling my dog to knock it off. Did I really fold this? I don't know what I was doing. Okay. Let's put this up here to partially cover that big spot of like gray. You can tell I'm a little out of practice for collaging and all of that. I haven't been making the time for it. I've been busy with work and whatnot, so but yeah, that's kind of what it's looking like now. So that's my spiel. And I'm not a teacher, so obviously there's more to it than just my silly opinion, but I am a mother to children who are in school. So I have an opinion, and that's okay. You don't have to agree with me. Let's just say that. I want to add some stickers. Where is my bag of stickers? Right here. So, let's see. Work, kids. That kind of took everything out of me. We moved. I know I mentioned that, like, very briefly. We moved into a house. We are still renting, but because prices in Southern California, even if you're making decent money, like decent money that would be considered decent anywhere else in the freaking country, maybe except New York, housing prices in California are insane. Like, I don't know who is buying a house that is like a normal house, like a normal single family home. We're not talking mansion, between 800,000 to over $1 million. Like, who is buying that? Like, how inflated is your income? Because that's not normal. I feel like people have just gotten really greedy. This is just going to be a video of me ranting about a bunch of different things. I just feel like people have gotten really greedy, and they forget that these houses, you know, a house is for someone to live in, for someone to make memories in, and you're basically using it as a, I don't know, fast track to make a bunch of money. So yeah, it's been, we figured we couldn't afford to buy a house this year. At least not in the area where we're living, and we have to live here because my husband works here. So maybe next year, maybe the year after that, we'll be able to buy a house. I don't know. I think what it's going to come down to is we're going to have to leave the area. Like, we're going to have to move into like the Central Valley or leave the state altogether, because it's ridiculous. And honestly, I think it's going to be like people having enough, like getting fed up enough to not pay those prices. Of course, then you have like the investment companies that like go in and buy them, and they like rent them out for like just as crazy amount of money. Like, it's excessive what rent is here too. Like, don't think that we escaped the craziness by continuing to rent. We didn't. Just crazy in a different aspect. But it is what it is, right? I can't change it. I can't do anything about it at this moment. And honestly, like, I think about, even if I had like $1 million to buy a house, would I want to spend $1 million on a like 4-bedroom, 3-bath like house that was built in the 60s that's like a normal size family house? No, I wouldn't. I don't see the value in that. I mean, you could move somewhere else and get like a literal mansion for that price. So, I don't know. It's just it's just an ongoing struggle. I think this would be cute here, but then I'm going to need to put something right here. I've missed this. I've missed collaging. It's super fun. So yeah, we moved. We only moved about maybe 15 minutes north of where we were before. But it is it's different. Like, the people here are different too. I think the people where we were living before, it was a very uppity neighborhood. I don't know how else to describe it. I'd never seen so many like luxury vehicles. Like, I'm talking like, you know, Lambos and stuff, and women who have had a lot of work done and like wear designer everything for school pickup. Like, it's intimidating, because that's definitely not me. I'm from Texas originally. I lived in Texas for almost 30, just over 30 years. Like, I'm still a little bit in culture shock living this close to Los Angeles. Like, it's different. People value different things out here, and I've never fully felt like I fit into a lot of that. I definitely felt like things were better when we lived in San Diego. Like, the vibe is just better in San Diego. Of course, San Diego is just as expensive. It's not any cheaper. It's just as bad price-wise. But the people, like, had more of like an artsy hippie vibe in San Diego, as opposed to like Los Angeles, where it feels like everyone's in competition with everyone else. So, I don't know. It's different, but it is what it is, right? It's where we're at now. We're here because my husband works out here. Maybe one day we'll move to a different state where our values are a little more like realized. Although I think the Central Coast would be nice. I like a slower lifestyle, if that makes sense. I don't want to feel like everything has to be so quick and like, I don't know, all the hustle. Like, I don't like that. It's not me. That's kind of pretty, right? And I think later I'll write something here. I'm just trying to smooth this, because honestly, I really messed that up. I'm gonna write something here about the Hot Wheels thing. So, I don't know about you, but so this journal is kind of like taking over where my Hobonichi left off. So, Hobonichi, let me bring it out. So, I got the full year. I don't know why I got the full year in one book instead of the Avec. I just did, and I don't want to have to rebuy the book. I just want to use the book. So my thought process is I'm not going to chunk it up the same way that I did with my other one. Although I stuck a tip in here, so what am I even talking about? I want to do more drawing, basically. So here's a sample spread. This is so toned down from how I used to, something else I want to stick in here. It's so toned down from what I used to do in my journals. So I'm basically taking all of like the chunky, like collage and the vintagey vibes, and I'm putting them in this journal. So that is the goal, because with these inserts, obviously, like, you can chunk this up and not be, because there's a lot less paper, and eventually you'll get to the end and it won't be terrible. But in the Hobonichi, if you get to the end, like, you're having to like fold the paper or the book over onto itself. Trust me, I have like messed up the spine of my last one having to do that, and I don't like that. So what I'm thinking is I was gonna washi tape this down. This is a little like charm. It's just plastic that came off of one of the Leonardo pens that I just bought, and so I thought it would be cool to just have like this little like tactile. I think that's what I love about doing journaling in this way, is it's just tactile. Like, you have things that you can fold up and touch in different textures and colors and prints, and I think that's what I love about it. And so I kind of wanted, we're gonna see. I may absolutely hate having this here. Like, it may just start annoying me because it's gonna hang out over the Traveler's notebook. But if I hate it, it's just stuck down with washi tape, so it's not a big deal. We'll see. I may hate it if I have to try to write something like over this area. So let's fix that. This is a piece of a to-go bag from this place. We went to this place called The Hat the other day. My husband's been wanting to take me there for a while. It's nothing fancy. It's like almost like a 50s style diner feel to it, but they do pretty much just pastrami sandwiches and burgers and chili. And I got these like massive chili cheese fries. It was so good. I've been craving chili cheese fries. And so I just tore this piece off of the, I wonder if I can get it like cut down enough so it's, I might actually cut this. I tore this piece off the bag. And I know, like, you're probably, if you don't get it, then you don't get it. I understand. Like, to some people, this is like, why are you keeping garbage? But to me, I don't know. I think because I'm a graphic designer, I really love packaging. I love design and seeing how design changes and how logos change. And plus, it just kind of helps trigger the memory for me if I can see this, like, physical representation of what I'm journaling about. So I'm gonna cut this nicely. So yeah, moving, even though we didn't move that far, moving took up a lot of time and energy, especially when you're moving with children and, you know, packing their toys and like making sure that you're moving on a day that doesn't coincide with school schedules, and it was a lot. And then unpacking, God, I don't want to move ever again, but obviously we will because we don't own the house we're in. But I am so sick of moving. Like, we've been moving every 3-4 years, and it's just exhausting. So hopefully, I told my husband, I don't want to move unless we're buying a house. I don't want to move again. Whether that is going to happen, I don't know. But I can, like, put that out into the universe. I don't want to move again. So, let's clip this down. So I thought I'd put it on this side, and it fits nicely. So we'll do that. So that just took up a lot of time. And then Christmas and holidays, and it got busy. And, you know, unfortunately, as much as I wish that making content could be my job, it's basically a lot of work for nothing. Like, no monetary, like, compensation. The compensation is that I get to hang out with you guys, and I get a fun community. But if you've never made videos before, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of thought. You gotta think of the video you want to make. You gotta sit down and film it, and then you have to edit and do a thumbnail and upload, and it's a lot. I enjoy it, but I definitely needed a break because also the way like the algorithm is. I know everyone talks about the algorithm. I'm sure anyone who's like watching this is just like, shut up about the algorithm. We don't care. But it's all true. Like, if you don't upload a certain amount of time, then you don't get any traction. And, the whole point of making this content is so that people will see it and enjoy it. And if you feel like people aren't seeing it and enjoying it, then it just feels like a drag, So that was kind of where I got to last year. And I took that time and just tried to recover as much as I could. But I'm hoping to come back this year and to be consistent. And I think, like I said in my other video, my Tetra Kaigi video, I'm not going to be like sticking to a strict upload schedule. I'm going to upload when I feel like I have something that I want to share. And I'm just going to do it like that because I don't want to be a slave to the algorithm. I don't. I'm trying to think if I have anything else I want to stick down in here. It's like I felt like before I started, I had a whole bunch of stuff I wanted to stick in here. And now that I'm actually doing it, I'm like, what was I going to stick in here? Maybe that was it. Like, I've already, warped this. Let's decorate this front area. Because I'll put the dates of when I started this. So let's do that really quick. So what have you guys been up to? How has your year been? How was last year? Are you feeling burned out? Is work driving you up the wall? I feel like a lot of people have hit their limit with stuff. I think what I'm hoping for 2023 is that I get back on track. That I get back to doing the things that I love to do. I get back to making more time for family and stuff like hiking and playing with my kids and just time to not be stressed out. That would be amazing. So, where's my channel going? That is the question. So, my hopes for the channel over the next year is I'd slowly like to incorporate some more art content. So sketchbook. What I'm wanting to do is a sketchbook Sunday video. Don't hold me to that because I may get tired and just give up on it. But I really want to fill a sketchbook this year, or a couple of sketchbooks. I want to get back to my art, for my portfolio, but I don't know if I'll show that because I feel like that work is so different than what I have done on here that I don't know if it would have crossover with the audience, if that makes sense. Basically, if I was going to sum up what I'm trying to do with my portfolio, when you're doing your portfolio for a master's program, it's good to have a theme. So your pieces all have a connection to each other, and a lot of them want between 15 and 20 pieces, and that's a lot of work. It's a lot of work for maybe something will come of it. So my theme is going to be, or is, because I've been working on it last year and I am going to continue working on it, is motherhood and my experience of motherhood and the early stages of motherhood, which spoiler alert, I dealt with severe postpartum depression, and um, I'm basically making art that relates back to that, but not in a literal sense. More of mixing the body and figurative work with landscape, because I think there is such a connection between the female body and the changes that it goes through during pregnancy and giving birth, and then kind of the changes that land and nature go through. I guess, Mother Nature for a reason. So, kind of just like relating my experience and all of that together. And I know it seems like it sounds abstract, but I do have a plan. I do have paintings that I have planned for and are going to be creating this year. But I don't know if that content belongs on this channel, is what I'm saying. Because I'm not gonna lie, it's a little dark. But I also feel like it's very healing. Especially if you've gone through something like that. What is today? The 21st. So, I don't know if I'll be sharing that work on here, but I will be. Also, an encouragement of me to continue to work on my art is to do more work in my sketchbook, more work to like flesh out ideas or just for fun. I think that was something that really burned me out last year. I was working on my portfolio. Is that it was always like goal, like it was that, like focus on the goal, do the work for that, and then it stopped being fun, and I just stopped. Like I just got so burned out, I just stopped. So, um, what I'm hoping is that by sprinkling in things that I would consider more relaxing, less like super thought driven, working stuff in here. Let me see if I have my sketchbook right. Basically, I want to finish the sketchbook. And this is an Etcher 100% watercolor sketchbook. I took it with me. I went on a trip with a few other artists to Mammoth Lakes, and we spent time outside drawing and sketching, and it was wonderful. It was relaxing, and I loved hanging around with other artists and just like doing that. But these are some of the things that we drew out there. This is like abandoned house. This is in watercolor. This was like a test. This is Mona Lake. This is Tufas. So I was like drawing this one specific one. But really getting into, this was at Bodie State Park. The house, they still have houses from the Gold Rush town there. And it's just a magical place. Just a rock with some, I think I was gonna like water. I believe this is like water activated pencil, so I think I was gonna water. I don't know. I just stopped. Obviously stopped mid drawing. But I want to do stuff like that on my channel because I think doing art like this is fun and it's bite sized, and I think it can really, I think that's as much as I got through here. Yeah. It's fun and it's bite sized, and I think that it would fit nicely into this channel because I plan on doing more drawing in my journals. To do like a sketchbook. So if you like that kind of stuff, great, watch it. If you don't, then don't watch it. But I am going to be slowly doing some of that on my channel. I'm also going to be doing more fountain pen related content. I'm really into fountain pens right now. I know that's not everyone's cup of tea. Just because you're a journaler does not mean you're a fountain pen enthusiast. I'm going to the California pen show in February, the second week of February. I'm so excited. Let me know if you're going to that. It's obviously not as big as the San Francisco one, but this one's local to me, so I don't have to like get a hotel and fly to a different part of the state. And so, although I might try to go to the San Francisco one, I don't know. But it's just different things like that. And I want to just kind of, I don't know, change it up a little bit, because I think something that we forget on YouTube is that, while, you know, a lot of our channel can be based on that like niche, and then people like expect that. We're not just that. We're not like single interest humans. We have lots of interests, and I think it's fun to share that, because I'm a whole person. I'm not just like a person who journals. I'm a person who sews, and I do fine art, and I love fountain pens, and I love stationery, and I hope that you will take that journey with me. Come along for the ride. If you don't, I understand. Watch the videos that speak to you. That's all I can say. Um, and if other creators that you're following do the same thing and like change their content, try to be understanding, because at the end of the day, we're all people. We all just want to have connection. And I think that's really what it's about, right? That's what social media is supposed to be about, is like making those connections, not feeling like you're not so alone in the world. Even though I'm sitting here by myself talking to a camera. Hopefully you'll be hearing this. But I don't know. I hope you will hang around for some of the newer content that I plan on creating. And if not, that's fine too. So I think that's all I'm going to do, because I just kind of like sat and rambled for a second. And I don't think I have anything else to stick in here. And like I said, this is kind of this is going to be more of like a personal journal for me, just very decorated. So I think that's all I have right now. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you didn't mind me like completely rambling and like talking about where I was. If this is the first time on the channel, then hi, I'm Ashley. I've been here for a little while, and now I was gone, and now I'm back. So I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you found my channel. Hopefully this like randomly video didn't turn you off to what's to come. But if you did like this video, give me a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, tell me what you're working on, tell me what changes you're making this year. What are the things that you're kind of like manifesting for yourself this year? I'd love to hear about it. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.